Okay, so this is the 100K skill that I learned by accident and no one told me about it. So when I started last year, I started wondering, okay, what business models make sense? Like SMMA, dropshipping, trading, e-com. And I was actually leaning towards SMMA. I started to do some cold calling. I started to call a couple of businesses like in the solar industry. And, I didn't have much luck. So I switched into selling real estate to realtors in New York. And I started to call them every single day. And, I was calling between 100 and 200 people a day, which is actually a good effort when it comes to cold calling. I know some people did like 300 calls at a time, and that's okay. So I started to do this and I saw little to no results. I booked a couple people a day, even though I was cold calling, I'll say it's like decent, but no one was qualified. Everyone was so skeptic. Like nobody really wanted to take action at the end of the day. So what I did is like I started researching more into SMMA. Like what do I do? Like cold email? Do I do marketing? Do I do like this and that? And then I found out about high ticket sales and this guy that was doing like he was doing SMMA. He had like a 20K on the agency and then he started doing um high ticket closing. So what I did is like, okay, it makes sense. Let me switch from the SMMA model and let's start to do some high ticket closing. And I started to look into it. I started to research, I started to like navigate it, and it makes sense. Like I'm getting 10% commission from 3,000, 5,000, $10,000 sales. So that means we're making between $300, $500, all the way to $1,000 per call. And it looked very interesting. So my realistic journey is like, I started this way. I started to get into high ticket posting. I started to research, getting to communities. I didn't have much luck until I joined an actual mentorship. And I'm not going to disclose what mentorship it is, because there's a lot of mentorships, and I'm not going to say that every mentorship worked, either the first or the last. Everything is like a total result of an effort and an investment. So I started to get roles, right? I started to get into roles, I started to get into interviews, and I did very poorly at first. Like I didn't get it at first. I was rejected from a couple of offers initially, like the ones that I applied. And then I started getting into like better roles, like into better interviews. And one of these interviews, I ended up being hired on the spot. Like they liked my vibe, like they really wanted to work with me. They gave me a chance and it was a good offer. It was a good setting role. In that role, my first month I made like $1,000. So it's not much. Like my second month, I made 5K. So it's like life changing already, like for a 20-year-old that never even made more than 2K in his life in a month. So I made 5K and then next month, I made 6K and it was like a consistent thing for like 6 months. And then after 6 months doing this, I decided that I wanted to get into a closing role. So I started to look for roles and I got hired on the spot also for a trading mentorship, which is like an offer for a closer. They were looking for like 10 closers. So imagine 10 closers joining. Some of them already had experience, some of them didn't. I started to work for them. First 2 months, they sucked, bro. They sucked. I got like $500 the next month. Stripe shut down. I don't know if any one of you guys knew about it, but Stripe, the payment processor, they shut down. So I didn't even get the permission. And then, but next month, everything started to go uphill. 2K months, 3K months again. But I was closing, so I was happy. Like I wasn't making as much as a setter, but I was happy. Then some guys came out into the offer. They revamped the whole thing. And by next month, I made 8K. Then the next month, 15K. And since then, it's been a consistent thing. I change offers. I've been changing offers lately also. But mainly it's like a 10K, 15K, consistent commission per month, like pure profit. And if you're like me, if you're young and you're watching this, you're probably thinking, okay, how do I start? So realistically, if any one of you guys want to start in this industry, you want to take action, you don't know where to start, like you kind of like want it. You're hungry enough to look for better opportunities than a 9 to 5 or just starting a business, because you can go ahead and start a business, but being a high ticket sales rep not only gives you a lot of freedom because you're only earning commission. You don't have to worry about fulfillment. You don't have to worry about marketing or any of those things. Like you're basically just selling to people. And it's not even a difficult sell. It's different way of selling though. So if you're ready to take that commitment, take action and take risk, you can go ahead and follow me on my Instagram and message me, and I'll send you a free breakdown so that you can actually get started today as well for free.